at 8:46 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time.
Australian Eastern Daylight Time, yes, correct. In what was quite sunny Melbourne today.
So welcome everybody to all Decked Out, Teched Out, where we talk about PC building, gaming, crypto, and all sorts of little bits and pieces that are hyped up in the news these days. And
Exactly.
you can catch us
All the cool stuff.
every fortnight, and every other fortnight you can catch us playing games. Well, we're doing a early show this week because usually we do it on a Thursday, but I'm busy this Thursday, so we pulled it into Tuesday.
I know some bloody mongrels decided to get married during the week. I mean, come on.
I know.
I wish he was here. See, if he was in the stream, we could give this person the appropriate amount of shit.
We could. But if you missed the last show, I just posted up in the chat there. I'll post it up in... Oh, actually, no, I won't post it up in your chat because I'm on a different computer for that one. Yeah, you can catch the show on Spotify. You can listen to it live on your way to work.
Are we Spotifyers?
We are Spotifyers now.
I'm death like my hero Joe Rogan. Oh, yes. With nobody listening, but anyway. That's cool.
It's a start. You can start to learn more.
Oh, look, we might start this little thing and then someone might go, oh, these guys don't sound too bad. But anyway. Yeah, I can't believe you got us on Spotify. That is hilarious. You've got to send me you sent me the link, haven't you?
I have. I sent you the link.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna kick off the show like we do every week with a couple of dad jokes. Thanks to Addy, they got me the little cards. Oh, you can't see it. Little dad jokes. So the two this week. All right, Bob. What do bees? Why do bees have sticky hair?
Oh, I'm scared to ask. Why do bees have sticky hair, Peggy?
Because they use honeycombs.
Try the veal. He's here all week.
And what month do trees hate the most?
What month do trees hate the most?
September!
I like that. That was a good one. That made me chuckle.
That's good.
All right, I don't have any dad jokes today. I can't recall. I can't think of one right now. But yeah, my son did show me. Can I show you? Yeah, I think I can. Give me a second.
All right.
Oh, be right back.
While you're going, I'll just give a plug for the TNT Footy Show coming up on March 15th. And if you haven't yet, make sure you join the Footy Comp, where we could be giving away a minimum of $150, and it could be up to $400,000.
Up to 400,000. Awesome.
Yeah. So we're giving away shares into our. We're gonna try and turn $50 each into 1.6 million. So we just got to double it every round in the AFL footy season. So by the end of the season, whatever's left over in the kitty, we're going to give away 25% to the winner of the footy tipping. But if there's nothing left in the kitty, we're all going to fork out $50 each and give the winner $150.
That sounds very exciting, Eggy, and I highly recommend everyone jump on board because, hey, you've got to be in it to win it. And if you're not, well, you're not. That's for sure. I am looking at something on my screen which is completely... I cannot put it on the stream. Let me just quietly say that. And I am like, what is... I've got to write this post and then figure it. Oh, it's that Skeletor page. That's what it is. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes, I belong to a paper. Some of the stuff they put up is very questionable. But as you saw today, hilariously funny. So Eggy did a thing. Yep, we are now officially
on Spotify. You can actually watch the show too, but I think you can just listen to it as well on Spotify.
Listen, watch at your leisure. Let's put that up there, ladies and gentlemen. So I just copied your link.
Yep.
And it's got like show, like it's got the show, and then it's got this really long URL. Is that the one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I just clicked it to double check, and yeah, it's come out again. Yep. It does have a really long URL, doesn't it?
Jeez, yeah, I just really could not do that. Oh, right, okay, and here's here's that. Yeah. Cool. Let's do this on the Twitters for the flippin' spuds. Anyway, Iggy.
So computer news. Have you got any new computer news for this week?
Yeah. So next week or two, we are expecting the X3D AMD chips to come out. So looking very quick, and some leaks coming out online this week. Showing these things are going to be blazing fast, but exactly how fast we won't know until we get some reputable sources like our mates over at Hardware Unboxed and Gamers Nexus actually having a bit of a real red hot crack. In some other news, we had our friends, one of the probably largest tech tubers out there. Our friends, I pretend like Linus Sebastian would know me from a blade of grass on a lawn. But yeah, Linus Tech Tips, a couple bit of flack, apparently for how good or bad of a boss he is. Which, look, every employee is going to have a good or a bad news story. I'm sure people who worked for my current employer have had good experiences, and I know plenty of people who have maybe not had such pleasant ones. But I'm still there, and I'm still happy, and I love what I do. But until my Spotify career gets to Joe Rogan level, I'm continuing to work for the man. Just saying. But in other news, I have noticed that just looking at some pricing in regards to GPUs, 3080s have leveled out at about used at about $950 or so.
Oh yeah.
Did notice some specials this week at Centacom with the 4080 tipping just under 1,000. I think they had one at $1,799, which was a base model Gigabyte OC, I think.
Yeah. So can you still pick up a 3080 brand new, or
no? That's the problem now. Is you're looking well and truly now used. But I have seen, look, the RTX, the AMD stuff at the moment is actually probably where the value is a little bit.
Yeah.
Their 7900 XTs at the moment are sitting around that $1,500 mark, which is what their 6900 XTs were. And difference between 7900 XT and a 6900 XT is not massive. Hence why I'm pulled the trigger on anything. XTX, yes, but then they're sitting more around the $2,000 mark.
Yeah.
But it all depends what you want to do. If you want to put on all that lovely ray tracing stuff that people like to do in single, story-based games, single-player games, then look, unfortunately, AMD's still not quite there yet. But certainly, if you're talking just playing 1440p, not at 4K, either of those cards are going to be great.
Yeah.
It's only when you start talking about playing in 4K at 144 hertz, so some really competitive settings. That's when you could. That's potentially when you could run into some bottlenecks and really try and you're really going to struggle. I'm not struggle, but you're going to need some real grunty hardware like a 4080 or a 4090. 4090s are still ridiculously priced. Overseas, a lot of talk. People are going, "Oh, 4090 is the one to get." Personally, I'm not saying that. Like certainly not in Australia. Let me be clear about that. Certainly not in Australia. There's $1,000 Australian dollars difference between them at a minimum. For the more high-end 4090s, you're talking more like $1,200-1,300 difference, and it's all it is just fancier, cooler, nicer lighting.
Yeah.
And zero difference in their performance. So, might be quieter because they've got the bigger overpowered coolers and stuff. But yeah, I just at this stage, that's probably the main bit of news. There's been a couple of other bits and pieces that have been happening as far as sort of Intel's drivers are starting to get a little bit better.
Yeah.
So that's good. Intel released their first gen, obviously, of GPUs. They're not represented. You're looking for a budget card. It's one of those cards that right now is sitting at around. What are they sitting around? I think an A750 was around that $350, $400 mark. But let me go and have a quick squeeze because I don't want to be lying here. Yep, there we go. Graphics cards. Can I just say, Senecom, you've got your game on. Yeah, I'm very impressed. They've actually improved their website remarkably. Graphics cards. It's interesting they don't have Intel as a separate brand. Nope. Okay, let's go live and high. Geez, I still can't believe a GT 1030, like during like the crypto craze,
Yeah.
they were sitting at about 120, 130, thereabouts, I'm like, wow, that's really crazy expensive for that card when you could pick up like a 8 gig, 580 now.
Yeah, for about $100.
Yeah, for about 100, and like smash it, like completely smash it. And they're still brand new. Mind you, to be fair to Centacom, they're only showing in stock.
Well, they use a lot of them for like business computers, don't they? So they can get dual monitors and that. Or
yeah, but that's pretty much what they're for. They're not any good for anything else. They're certainly 100% not for gaming. That's absolutely no qualms about that. Yep. So an Intel Arc, their branded card for A750, Centacom's got them for $379.
Yeah.
On pre-order, which is interesting because when you look at the site, it seems to indicate they're in store, but the only one that's got it is Auburn. Now, where is that? I thought no, that's one. We might have to go to. Oh yeah, here we go. And the Intel Arc A770 has got with the 16 gig of DDR. Okay, again, not in stock, but 639.50. I don't know whether that'll change once it comes in. Let's see if someone's got actually Intel. What is it? A770. No, yeah. Here we go. Oh yeah, M-Wave. Wow, M-Wave's got a good deal on one, and it's a ASRock card with nice RGB on it. 8 gig. That's interesting.
What's that for? A 40?
No, an Intel A770, but with 8 gig of RAM. I wouldn't be going near that. I would be going for the Arc 16 gig card, which is the one from Intel themselves, which is, so what are they going for? They are going for $579.
Yep.
So an A770 sits at around a 3060 Ti. But look, I think it's going to be like a fine wine. Like over the next year or two, those cards will get really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Right now, they're pretty janky. Their drivers are janky. The rumor is Intel's going to get out of the graphics card game.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be stupid on them.
Then just got in, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right. So they've plowed quite a bit of money and investment into this. I am hoping they don't do that. Oh well, there you go. I'm just looking here. Sculptech is showing it at $569, so $10 cheaper, as on sale. So I would really like to see them continue on, because I think having a third player in the graphics card part of the PC gaming field is good, because it creates competition, and we've seen what competition can create with Intel and AMD on the CPU side.
Yep.
Where Intel was stuck for years and years just giving us the same garbage, 6 cores, 12 threads for years and years, and then when Intel came on the scene, they finally went to 8 core, and then before they knew it, now Intel is offering us 12 core, 16 core, 36 threads, 32 thread 5950Xs, and they're just about to launch that 5950 the 7950X, and they're about to drop the 7950X 3D, which from all accounts so far looks like it's going to be much quicker than the 13900K. Not the 13900K is a slouch. Let me just put that out there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Besides that, I don't think I've got anything else from a news perspective.
Now, in the use for me, I've still got that budget PC with the i7 3770 and the GTX 1050 Ti sitting at around $500. I haven't had that much interest in it, but yeah, if anyone interested, shoot me a DM and we can talk money if you want.
Wow, really? Still, I thought that was going to represent some good value, that system.
Maybe,
because
yeah.
you were talking monitor, keyboard, mouse, and the PC. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, I mean, that's $500. Better than console performance,
and negotiable too. So,
and Eggy's, if you're listening to the show, subscribe. Come join us.
How about you? Have you got rid of any of your parts and that, or you haven't?
No, I've been lazy. Lazy. Actually this week I'll put them up. I've got the photos. I've got everything. I've just got to do the ads, and then see how it goes.
Yeah. So what are you looking at selling again?
So we've got so there's a couple. I've got a ton of stuff that I'm going to be putting up for sale. So the first thing I'm going to be putting up, so there's a Z 590 gigabyte Aorus motherboard with 64 gig of RAM. It's four sticks of 16 gig Neo. What is it? G-Skill Neo RAM. Beautiful looking colors on it. Runs really well, not a problem. And also it will have it can be paired with an 11700K. And if anyone wanted me to put a system together, jump on board. I've seen some good specials on some really good cases. The Lian Li 2 mesh case that Gabe's got in his room at the moment, I've seen for just under $100.
Ooh.
So
does that come with lights, or no? You have to get your RGB.
No, that comes with That's got built-in lights on the front cover, and you can use the button to change them.
Oh, beautiful!
If you wanted it, or use your onboard if you wanted it. It's really nice. It's really nice case. Really good airflow. Gabe's had, like I said, Gabe's got his, and it's actually quite a nice little. It's not too small, but it's not massive either. So it's a nice ATX case, and it will, and I can put together a system for probably around that $1,500 mark. I have got a used GPU, but it's nothing flash. It's the what was it, the 4 gigabyte
RX 570.
570.
Yeah.
So I actually, mate, I haven't even plugged it in to actually check if it's working. I should do that. So I've just got to find time.
That's the hard bit. I've been the same thing, but with work and family and.
Yeah, and there's days where you're just so tired and you just
that's why I haven't been gaming much either. I've been watching a bit of TV and that and falling asleep on the couch.
You know what? I've been smashing more mobile gaming on my new phone.
Really? But we'll talk more about into gaming and that a bit later, and TV shows and podcasts.
So a couple of other things I'll also have up for sale is a S21 5G S21 Ultra, which is the 5G phone. With charger, box, original. No charger. There'll be a box and the original cable. They never came with chargers. I had to buy one, and I'm not willing to part with that because I'm using it for the replacement. I bought a S21 Ultra.
Oh, nice.
I went into Optus. I wasn't on a plan, and
so is the phone unlocked, or is it locked to Optus?
Unlocked. Yep. You can go to any network. It's not a problem. It's paid off. I was with Telstra on it, and I went to Optus, and I had no issue. So it's an unlocked phone, not a problem. You can do that. I've also got a iPhone XR, 128 gigabyte. So I think the S21's a 256. It is. It's a 256 gigabyte phone. The XR's a 128 gigabyte phone. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Like I've been using it for work, but I discovered eSIM, which I'll talk about a bit later, on mobile phones. And I've got an iPad Pro, which was the 9.7 inch. Which is I think that's 256 gigabyte. So, and again, no scratches, really well looked after, like almost looks brand new. Again, I upgraded to a new one because I just wanted something a little bit more fancier and nicer. And
is what generation is that, the iPad Pro? We'll get back to you on that one.
I think it's the first gen of Pros that came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it works great, like perfect. It hasn't skipped a beat. It's just that I want to get something new. Like I got the I had the choice of going like brand's latest, like I think this is the third or fourth. I think the fourth gen iPad Pro just came out, but the difference between third and fourth gen was zero. Like very minimal, like not a little bit nicer front camera or something. I was like, I am not paying a couple of $100 for a camera. It's just ridiculous, especially on an iPad, which I just don't use it. I just do not use it because I don't make a lot of phone calls or anything. Like I use my phone, like I use my mobile for it. So yeah, and what else have I got? Yeah, and I'll probably have an old iPad that was Gabe's, and now we want to move that on. But yeah, so hoping to raise a couple of $100 just to pay for some of the upgrades and put some money back into the bank account.
To pay for those Game Pass subscriptions and Netflix subscriptions.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know, like there's no use hanging on to that stuff. It's worth money. I'll chuck it on Marketplace. To be honest, I'll get what I get for it. You know, I'm not looking to make squillions. I'm not looking to make a profit out of them. Like I know I'm not going to make a profit out of any of it. But if I can offset some of, like to say to my wife, if I can sell some stuff that offsets my
borrowing power from the Bank of Life.
Well, it offsets my hobby. And it's, you know, it's so rare that you can do that. Like if you're into fishing or you're into, you know, boating or you're into cars, you know, a lot of that stuff you can't take the old parts off and go, I'm going to put this new whiz bang part. I'll sell this old part. You know, you're going to spend more time and money trying to do that. So you end up usually just dumping the part in the wreckers, or you know, just throwing it out and just going, because it's usually buggered, and that's why you're replacing it in the first place. So yeah, so watch this space. I'll put it up. I actually might put it up on the Flippin' Spuds. Facebook and on my personal one. And yeah, if anyone is interested, just DM us. But that's enough of our sales pitch. Let's move on.
All right. Should we drop into a bit of crypto? Crypto's going gangbusters lately. Bitcoin's up around, in the last 7 days, up 10%. But over the last 3 months, it's up about 50%. So it's gone from about 20,000 to 36,000. Ethereum's up around the 2.5 mark. That's up again around 8% for the 7 days. They're all down a couple of percent for the last 24 hours, but over the last 3 months, Ethereum's up 40%. Polygon, which is your Matic, which is what we did most of our horses and that was running on. That's up 80%. It's up at over $2.10. I think it's up 20% over the last 7 days. And and Solana's up. It's doubled. It's gone from it was around 3 months ago. It was around $27 now. Oh no, not 27. Must have been around $17. Now it's up to $36.
Wow, so you boys have got some you boys have done okay out of that then, because I know you guys got quite a bit of Solano.
Oh, I think we only had two because we were like with the Stingray dog. I did buy two of them because we were going to get some chickens or something that were soul chicks that were two Solana each. So we've already got two of them. But yeah, they're looking about $70 at the moment. But I think when we when we first got them, they were about $150 each. So we're still
a long way to go.
We're still a bit of a while away to go to break even. So
fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. Because it was interesting. I was listening. Didn't listen to all of it, but I did listen to some Son of Tech.
Yep.
He was talking about we're going to get out this year. I think it's this year we're getting our first sort of government-backed, centralized CDBs, centralized tokens.
Oh, yeah.
This is how much I know about this stuff. Yeah. Let me go and see let me go figure out what I'm talking about. Let's see. Token.
No, I haven't looked that much into shares lately because I've been investing $100 a week, so I've been trying to put $50 into crypto and $50 into shares, but I can't buy any Australian shares till I get up over $500. I can't buy any international shares until I get up over $1,000. So bear with me while I build up the bank account until we get that.
Yeah, I know. Was it CDBs or CBD tokens? CBDC. Yeah, central bank digital currency.
Ah, yes.
So that this year, central digital currency is the digital form of a country's fiat currency. So what the talk is that the American dollar, for example, will no longer be a physical money paper thing. It'll be this central coin that'll be directly tied in. So this coin will be so it'll be backed by, I imagine what I'm reading here is issued and regulated by the nation's monetary authority or central bank. So yeah. So the Australian dollar, all of a sudden there'll be a digital version of the currency, which will be the same as the paper.
Yep.
So, if you're a conspiracy theorist, it could be to make real tangible money that you can put in your hand disappear, and transfer the wealth to the rich. But look, it basically, I think the idea behind it is to make it, is to have I think this is going to, it'll be very interesting once these launch, how then Bitcoin and Solano and Ethereum and all of those do. Because I think there's a big difference, especially if these CBDC tokens end up being like cash, like you can literally go online and this isn't new.
No.
Because if you think about it, internet banking is exactly that. I'm not physically exchanging money with anyone. I'm just transferring money.
Yeah.
Like when I buy something online and I pay for it, I'm electronically doing it anyway.
Yes.
What I think the CBDC is meant to do is just completely eliminate the necessity for cash. Now, is that going to work in every economy? No, because you've got to have the banking infrastructure to do that.
Yeah.
So I think what we'll see is I think the first cabs off the rank will be, places like Australia, New Zealand, US, possibly, and some Europe, and some of the large, England, Germany, Italy, a couple of those larger sort of countries, and larger, it'll be interesting to see what Japan does, because they've got a fairly large economy.
Yeah.
And so it will be interesting. It'll be interesting because it will then allow, like I said, I think it'll be a direct attempt to regulate like crypto. And the link I think it'll be a real hard crack at trying to get rid of this, a lot of the independent crypto. If I was a betting man, I reckon we'll be lucky if we see Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe one other independent one survive. But for the most part, I think the rest will die in the ass. I think they'll go back to zero.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial guru. If I could predict these things, I wouldn't be here.
Yes.
I would be co-hosting with my mate Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Just saying, I could afford to pay him to do that, but I can't. So
Yes.
that's my thought. Look, and it's a very simplistic view. I could be completely wrong. I'm sure there's people who are much smarter than me and much more into this that might go, no, you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong. Anyway, what else is so crypto seems to be?
Yeah, it's good. I haven't looked at shares, but just to touch on like podcasts and stuff and that quickly, I was looking at one guy. There's Owen Rask. He's from Australia. He's got 3 different podcasts. He's got the Australian Finance Podcast, the Australian Investor Podcast, and the Australian Business Podcast. And you can check him out at raskmedia.com.au. And he's got a bunch of like educational courses around investing and stuff like that. I've been listening to a couple of bits of his stuff. Like it does with most business stuff, and that it does get a bit tedious and a bit of a grind listening to it. But he seems to be very informational, and he's Australian as well, and he's on the grind. Like he's got three different podcasts he does weekly. Plus he does YouTube as well, and then he's got some online courses, and then he does like daily news for the ASX and stuff like that. So it's good little insight into it.
It's good. That is good, because the thing is, that's what you want.
Yep.
Get yourself educated before you start, throwing hard earned at things, especially, speaking of, sort of trying to be educated, there's some, there was a pretty scary story today in the paper, about superannuation and the government looking at, what was the wording? And Terry McCann, who, look, he's a finance guy. I mean, he's always going to have, he's going to have some vested interest in what he's saying and stuff, because obviously, he's fairly well off. But it was interesting. His story was about how the government's proposing, access to super, and this $3 trillion pot of gold.
Yeah.
That realistically the government is probably going to try and utilize to fund and redistribute those funds to say, well, what's the wording he used? He was very specific, saying, look at the wording on what the Herald Sun, what the government's proposing, and you will see that it's not good. Effectively, what he was suggesting is that the government's looking to redistribute the wealth.
Oh, okay.
So basically saying they want to take the super and then use your super money to go and build roads and go and invest in hospitals, prop up Medicare, and say, we're going to use this money to help those less fortunate. But I think the government needs to be extremely careful doing that
Oh yeah.
because old Australians who are, or people, many people are not, a lot more people are nearer to retirement than there are in the workforce. And if Labor wants to play that game of trying to, I guess, potentially redistribute that wealth, let me tell you, there's nothing more to be feared. Forget your left wokest protesting at Parliament and saying, we're declaring war on white people. Mate, those aren't the people you need to be scared of. You need to be scared of the guys who are working as CEOs of companies that make a bucket load of money that are looking to retire. And you're going, no, we're going to use your money to redistribute the wealth. Those are the guys that get you kicked out of government because they're the ones who donate to various political parties, and old people as well are the ones that vote and the ones that have got an interest in politics. Young people, we're a minority. And I kind of just put myself in that wee bit young people thing by just a smidge. But yeah, there's a lot of it's a dangerous game, and I think people should watch that very, very closely, because if the government, if the government go down that road, that's not good. Because one thing we learned through COVID is if you give people the opportunity to pull some of their super up and piss it against the wall, they will.
Yep.
Not knowing that the 20 grand they pulled out today is 300 grand in 20 years' time. Like it impacts their retirement significantly. I love the barefoot investor. I like this. Don't just blame the RBA for your mortgage woes. That is correct. There are people, unfortunately. Yeah, here he is. Oh dear, Chalmers is coming for your super. And what did he say?
Yeah, because I know some people are going up $200 a week or $300 a week just because of the interest rate rises over the past year or two.
And one of our friends was talking about he's like gone up like $1,200 a month.
Jeez.
And he's like, I'm waiting for some money to come in, I guess, because that'll help reduce my mortgage back to being manageable.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a heap of, and the scary bit is there's a whole bunch of people that are, and I would love, you know what, we should really get Taz to come in and talk about some of this stuff, because he's obviously in the finance industry, and at the cold face of some of this stuff. It'd be really interesting to get his views on how sort of, if they're starting to see this, people because they're saying, shop around for a better rate. That's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Because if everyone, the banks aren't stupid, like they're all want to, and
they know there's still more increases to come, so they don't want to lock in anything too low.
Yeah. So it's where is it? I'm just looking for this quote. Bear with me for a second.
That's right.
Yeah, Jim Chalmers is going after the biggest pool of money in Australia, bigger even than what's bigger than what's in our banking system. And I emphasize that word, your superannuation. And it's you could not ask for more anodyne. Indeed, what is formerly sane word called a motherhood statement. The consultation process has started on legislating the objective of superannuation. They're going to legislate what the objective of superannuation is. So people don't have to have a pension. And when they stop working, they've got enough money to continue living a lifestyle at a level that they're used to when they were employed.
Yeah.
That's the objective of super. I don't need someone to legislate that, because what my level of living versus what my parents' level of living, my parents can live on significantly less money than I can, because they grew up in a different generation with different sets of values and they come from a very different background to what I do. I'm used to going out for breakfast, going on holiday. My parents never did a lot of that until they got older.
Yeah.
And they were financially a little bit more independent, where I've gotten to be financially independent a lot sooner in my life than what they did. But that's it's sort of like, and he says, but that should immediately set the first amber light flashing. Hang on, why should we have to legislate an objective for superannuation? Isn't it evident? To build up at least a sufficient pool of savings for retirement. And why not? Individually, the biggest possible pool that you want to put aside for your future. That's exactly right. You want to put aside as much money as you possibly can while you're working. So when you're getting to that age, when you are retiring, that you can continue living the lifestyle you used to. The answer, of course, is the wide objective for the pool of money is that one that you poor schmucks can't understand, far less appreciate. We know better than you. Your money should be your money should be invested, and if as a consequence you get hosed, well, by then we won't be around to cop the blame. You can warm yourself on those future cold winter's nights in old age with the comfort that you help build a better world or something. Basically, what Terry McCann is going, they're going to go, oh, we're going to tell you how to invest it. But when we completely fuck it up because we're the government and that's what we are best at doing, when it comes to finances, because we're not business people, we're meant to just make sure that there's enough electricity for everyone, there's enough water for everyone, there's enough food for everyone, there's enough defense for everyone. And this is where I get really stroppy with central government, is governments have gone, and this has been slowly an insidious thing that we've seen happen, is government starting to tell people not how to run their life, but literally what they should or shouldn't believe, or how to do what they should do with their money. Yet in our education system, so when our kids go to school, right, your kids learn about the stock market?
I don't know.
And investing and financial responsibility and how to pay bills?
I don't think they do yet, but I do want to. There's a few books I do want my kids to read, but I thought I was going to wait till they're at least 10.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm waiting. Barefoot Investor's got one specifically for kids.
Oh, okay.
And they reckon like it's really, really simple and really, really good. And it's like he talks a lot about making kids earn money and appreciating it. We're only starting to see Gabe now starting to go, oh, that's a lot of money. When we go to buy, oh, that's a lot of money, Dad. Wow, that's really expensive. Whereas before it's like, oh, just go to the bank and get the money out, Dad. No, that's not how it works, mate. And when I said to a mate, we don't have a magic money tree where money grows on trees. He goes, wrong, Dad. Money does grow on trees. What? Okay, please explain, mate, because I'm interested to know this. I'm looking forward to this answer. And the absolute smart ass goes, well, Dad, money's made of paper. What's paper made out of? Trees. Money grows on trees. I'm like, can you print money? Yeah. Not legally, you can't, champ. You go, okay. Because trust me, if I could, I would. You can't. The government, you will go to jail for a very long time if the government catches you. Yes. And he goes, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I'm like, no, you didn't. So, but yeah, but I get very skeptical and very nervous because the government only, and this is because people have been fooled into thinking the government should be in surplus or debt free. A government should be in debt in a reasonable for a reasonable percentage compared to what we make as an economy. it's try and kind of roughly balance the books a little bit and provide what's essential: medicine, food, water, protection. And the government's gotten involved in, oh, we're going to we're going to tax you on this, we're going to tax you on that.
Yes.
Oh, here's GST, or here's land tax. And it's really interesting. I was talking to a guy at work, and he's French. And he said, so what's happening in France? They have an inheritance tax. And he goes, and I can tell you now, mate, he goes, I can see it happening here.
Yeah.
He goes, so what would happen is, he goes, all these families used to have these beautiful homes, he said, chalets in the countryside, just, they'd go on holidays, like holiday houses, like what we've got here, right? He goes, but what would happen, so parents would pass away, and what would happen is the kids would inherit them. Well, the kids would inherit them, but then the government would say, oh, you've got $500,000 worth of tax on that now because you've inherited it. None of these people could afford it. And so when the EU happened, all the English who were in the EU at the time bought them for nothing. Moved to France, part of the EU, said, this is brilliant. We love this. This is fantastic. We've bought these beautiful country homes that we've gone and fixed up for next to nothing. And we live in Tuscany, and not Tuscany, in the beautiful, French Riviera and, lovely parts of country France, until a parachuting blonde-haired git convinced by the name of Boris Johnson, convinced the UK people vote for us to come out of the EU.
Oh.
I love it, because I think the rich people were just arguing for the sake of arguing. And then when it happened, they went, "Oh, fuck! That wasn't. Can we have a second vote?" And the people went, "No."
Could you find a loophole around it where, like, you sign over the house to a trust, so then, like, as new members come in, you get them into the trust as well? So it's like a company.
Mm-hmm. So he said basically all the English, he said, now have had to sell those cheap houses for nothing. And he goes, if you can find someone to buy them, and he goes, move back to England, because they're not French citizens, they're not EU citizens.
Yeah.
And so therefore, back to England you go. And apparently it's caused some massive turmoil for people, especially who retired in France. They said, the rest of my days in France, beautiful. And suddenly they're like, so they sold these really expensive properties in England, bought these really cheap properties in France, and now they're having to go back to England, where the property market hasn't changed, and they can't sell their houses in France for anything anymore. And that's one of the things I think that's going to be the biggest. There's a real risk with what's happening at the moment with mortgages.
Yeah.
There's a real risk that we're going to start, going from, there's not enough houses on the market, to too many houses on the market, but then the problem being not enough rentals, because there's not enough. And the thing is, again, especially in Victoria, the rental rules, they're quite generous towards tenants. It's quite difficult to kick people out.
Yeah.
They damage your home. Now, if you've got good renters, I mean, like you and your family, you go there, you pay your rent on time, you look after the place, you don't wreck it, that's fine. But I've known people, even my family, I wouldn't let them rent a doghouse, yet alone, my own property that I've invested my hard earned.
Yeah. Well, I remember reading one about an Airbnb somewhere where they rented it out, and someone had a fake ID or something, or fake card or something. I'd have the house had a party with 300 people and trashed the joint.
Yeah. And this is the thing, like all these things, like these Airbnbs and, and these rent, like people go, property. But I actually think property has been overhyped for so many years.
Yeah.
That a crash is inevitable. Well, we're going to go from this housing drought to this housing avalanche.
Well, yeah, that's what Taz was saying to me a couple of weeks ago before, there's supposed to be a lot of people coming out of fixed interest rate, like which is going to be hit hard.
Yeah. So someone who like you who hasn't maybe entered the market yet, yeah, you might pay a higher interest rate right now, but reality is you're going to get more bang for that buck that you borrow.
Yeah, like
so you might,
in the end, it'll probably cost you $1 million, but like even if the same, like having the interest rates lower, the houses would have been the same price. But yeah, like you might buy the house for 500,000, but pay more interest, but end up paying $1 million, whereas you bought it for 750,000, but you're still paying the interest and it still gets up to $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, usually I give grief to Amelia for trying, for sometimes she'll go, oh, no, I want to pay the credit card off with savings. I'm like, oh, yeah, what, $30 you're going to make for the month? Last couple of months, let me tell you, especially last month, I looked and I went,
with the interest rate rises, yeah.
Fire.
Then again, though, some of them are saying that the a lot of the banks aren't passing it on to the savers. Like I think it's like the borrowing power is still around the 4%, but then like the interest rate for saving is like 2.5 or something.
It's like people forget how banks make money.
Yeah.
They give you money you don't have, so you can buy shit that you can't normally afford.
Yeah.
And they make a profit out of that. They're not going to give you the same amount in savings. They don't make money that way. And this is the thing. Like at the moment, a lot of the news is around, banks, they're ripping people off and they're doing this. I'm like, banks haven't changed in centuries. They've just been more regulated so they don't go broke and pinch people's money. That's the only thing that's changed.
Yeah.
So, the bank, like they're like, Commonwealth Bank has, made $5.2 billion, but they're shutting branches. Oh, is that because there's thousands of people going into branches? Oh, no, there's not. Like my mother-in-law refuses to close her passport account. Flat out refused and threatened the bank to take all the business accounts and everything away from them and go to another bank.
Yeah.
I know where she was going to go because I don't think anyone else would do the passbook account. But that's the mentality she had. And the bank in the end just went, okay, cool. And I think at the Frankston branch, they have a machine. And I think they've got, funnily enough, I think there's enough of very similarly minded elderly people in the Frankston community that justify the bank having a machine in the branch and having someone at the branch trained up on how to use it. And it's fine. But for example, like I heard the last bank in like some of these really small, like Cooper Pedy, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like these really small rural branches, towns, and they're like, the last bank branch shut, and it sucks for them because the thing is, if you've got a local business and you're gonna have cash coming through, it's like, well, how do I bank the cash? Like I've got a risk now putting in some big ass safe maybe in my business premises and hope nobody realizes I'm keeping all the cash here, and then make a mad dash for a bank that might be 2-3 hours down the road so I can deposit the money. Because I was saying even councils and stuff in those areas are going to be in trouble because they can't, they get paid. People sometimes pay rates over the counter, or they come in to pay a fine, and or they pay for a permit for something. Like come in and say, "Yep, here's the money for the permit. Here's my letter." They don't want to do internet banking, but then you look at it from a business perspective, going, I've got to have a building which I've got to put electricity in, I've got to pay the maintenance on, and I've got to have 2 or 3 staff in here because I can't have one staff member. Just if someone goes to knock off, that's an invitation to go knock off the bank.
Yeah.
So you're going to need 2 or 3 people so you can, make sure no one's stealing money and everything's working the way it should. And I feel sorry for those people. I genuinely do. But at the same time, I also get where these banks are coming from, saying it's not financially viable for me to run a branch for 100 people in the whole town
Yeah.
that maybe come in once a month. Or for the three businesses that run in the town, which is a general store, a post office, and maybe one supermarket or something, you know.
With that happening, like everything, you sort of thinking like banks are closing down. It's like Coles checkouts are going self serve. Like everything's going self serve. And
Mm,
what's the chances of like post offices having like you'd be able to go into post offices, or you'd
mm.
be doing your news agents online next? And
News agencies are a dying business.
mm,
I had a friend of mine who bought into one really like way too late. And he said the only thing he made money from was people coming in to do their tats and then buying something else.
yeah,
And same with servos. They reckon they make very little money out of the petrol. It's more when you walk in and your kid goes, "Hey, Dad, I want a chocolate bar."
yeah,
And that's why if you notice a lot of servos, like that BP at Seafood, that's got to be a license to print money, that joint. Because they've chucked in a Daniel's Donuts in there.
oh, have they?
And also they've got like all these little kids' toys and bits and pieces. Not a lot, but just enough that Gabe goes, "Oh, Daddy, I want." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm an asshole, Dad. I can say no." My wife, meh, depends on the day.
Yeah,
But, most of the time it's okay, just shut up. But yeah, but that's, you know, but a business is a business, man. Like it's got to make money.
yeah,
Can't They're not charities, and this is the thing in the media. This faux outrage about these business. Like people go, "Oh, banks are." Yeah, but the thing is, how much of your superannuation's funds money is invested in bank shares? So
you never know.
yes, if you go take a look, a lot
Yeah,
of
I
the
know.
time, super funds invest very heavily in resources and finance
Yeah,
because they're steady, they're rock solid. Like Australia's got some of well, when the GFC happened, Australia was one of the countries. The reason why our currency got so strong against the US was everyone was shitting their pants in the US, going, "Oh my god, how many of these?" Like Lehman Brothers went.
yeah, and the same with
Got
England, like HBC or something closed. I don't know
Yeah,
if they
like
closed down, but they were in trouble. Or...
yeah. Oh, Barings Bank. Yeah, it was in massive trouble when they got ripped off. Like all these banks were like, everyone's like, and everyone's looking at Australia and they're like, "Oh, well, for every dollar we've got deposited, we've got $1 million, we've got $10,000 worth of equity." So they were like, so if everyone walked in and pulled all their money out, the banks had the money to cover it. And then the Australian government went and said, "Hey, if you got more than 250K, up to 250K in the bank, and the bank for whatever reason goes broke, we got you back." Didn't have to ever do anything about it,
No.
but it all of a sudden stopped. Some people, not all, I won't mention people, but some people in my family down in the bank and going, "Give me all my money." Uh, and then Julian reminded that they need to put it back because the government was guaranteeing it. So, but it's that's the thing, and I think that's what's shaking people up with crypto. I think that's why crypto is also struggling to take off because there's been so many rug pulls, so many bullshit ones, so
Yeah.
many, NFTs. I think are going to take. I don't know whether they'll ever recover again. I think that was crazy what was happening with NFTs.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just one of those things that's got to be regulated.
Yeah,
Where,
there's got to be some rules, man.
yeah.
So enough about that.
Enough
So,
about
yeah,
investing in that. Let's get on to the fun stuff. So, what
yeah.
have you got any new podcasts or any new books you're reading or TV shows or movies?
I haven't. I haven't been doing much TV. One thing, like I said, I have been doing is a bit of mobile phone gaming, which is redonkulous. Like they're such basic games, but there's this one called Mob Control. It's hilariously funny. I just sit there like, "Duh, duh, duh, duh. Gotta beat him, gotta beat him, gotta beat him." And it's like it's just one thumb you're playing with,
Ah, So
on the thing.
what do you
Oh,
do?
like
Mob control? Like you go around. Is that where you're the group of people?
no. So what happens is all these you get attacked by another players, and then you attack their base, and then you've got to overrun it with your minions.
Oh
So
yeah, so
then you
it's
got
similar to like Clash of Clans. Have you ever played that one? Or
no, I haven't played Clash of
yeah,
Clans. Yeah, but it'll be they're all very, I found today this game that's like Wordle, but
I
it's
still haven't
got
got into that. Like I hear about it on the radio and that, and on, but I still haven't played it yet.
yeah, and I was just like, uh, good, unlucky. And then there was one that's like a, and I've played this before on my iPad. I'm sure I've got the game on my iPad where I've paid for guns and everything, um, which is like a sniper one,
Oh yeah,
where you just take out the guy and the people you're killing get harder and harder to kill.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you've got to
yeah.
keep upgrading the guns and
And then like yeah, and you got to be like you got to kill the three bodyguards and then kill him or something. Or
yeah. Or you've got to kill them with you got to kill two guys with one bullet. You got to wait for them to line up and then bang. Then there's the Matrix slow motion.
Yeah, I think I remember playing that game as well.
Yeah. So that's about all I've been.
So I've been watching a bit of like the World Series of Poker and the World Poker Tour and sort of
Yeah.
recaps of like the pokers and that. So sort of I don't know. I watched one
Yeah.
video, then I sort of got stuck in the hole, and I've been watching it every now and then.
Yeah, it's the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that YouTube rabbit hole you start and you're like, all right, what time is? Oh my god, it's 1 a.m. and I've just watched 30 World Series of Poker tournaments. With Daniel Negreanu.
Yeah,
and,
that's the one. That's I love watching him.
and Psycho Phil Jackson, and oh, it's just hilariously funny.
And another TV show I've been watching like is National Treasure, the series. Remember like the old Nicolas Cage movies?
Oh, I didn't know that was a series now.
Yeah, they're bringing out a new one, but he's not in it. But Riley has a cameo in one of the episodes and that. But yeah, it's not bad. It's like the treasure hunting sort of thing. I don't mind those. And then Outer Banks is coming back this next week, I think it is, and that's like another treasure hunt sort of thing. Another teen drama treasure hunt that I sort of like.
Cool. Cool. So it sounds like you're enjoying yourself there. That's
it's been fun.
Some solid
bit
watches.
Bit of a change. I'm watching the army movies. What's it like? Ultimate Reacher, and then I watched that other one. Oh, I can't even remember the names of them. There was Jack Ryan, and there was another one as well.
The Recruit.
No, I haven't watched that yet. I do remember you saying that. I should watch that.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't had a chance to go back to it, but I should go back to it. Yeah, no, definitely should go back to it. So what else have we got? Podcast, TV show.
October, still looking at October for the ECA Games Family Fun Day sort of thing. What I was thinking is maybe taking down the barbecue and that, and then everyone brings like a plate of food, and it won't cost anything. We'll just have a few little games and stuff where we play each other, and maybe even have like a decathlon or something. Like a volleyball or cricket, or could be like a scavenger hunt, or
mate. Oh, scavenger hunt for the kids.
Yeah, or a three-legged race. Or
yeah, we've put lollies all around the suburb. See you in 6 hours, kids.
No fighting.
No fighting, and don't get kidnapped. And no dibber-dobbering. First one to dibber-dobber, automatically losers. No. Look, some cricket, some footies, some touch footies, some soccer, whatever, man. So many different things you can do. Yeah, but so October, definitely,
put it in the works. After both footy seasons, and just before it gets too hot in summer and that.
Yeah, and by that stage, the weather starts improving. You get some nice, like, mild days, not, 30, 40 degree days.
Yeah, that's true.
And, if there's no shade, you stuff. Yeah, but, I mean, you got Ballon Park you could go to.
Yeah, I was thinking because a lot of everyone's, like, from the east or from the southeast, so sort of halfway in between, maybe, like, Rowville sort of way, or...
There's Listerfield Lake.
Yes, yeah, I did see that one.
Yeah, so that might be one to sort of consider. I'm just trying to think if there's some in Keysborough. Look, we'll have to look into it a little bit more. And
Yeah. I did have a look. Like that's why I made it sort of 6 to 7 months away, so we can sort of get it
yeah,
organised and bounce some ideas off people and stuff.
yeah, absolutely, 100%. Um, that's all I've got to say.
Yeah, well, we've still got the gaming. So what have you been looking at any new games, or what game do you want to add to the wheel of games this week for what we're playing next week?
Well, I know what I don't know what game I'm quite want to add. I want to fucking take off, and that's Need for Speed Heat. Anything with that EA shit, like seriously, man, like they're freaking. Oh, they're like how much drama did we have last week trying to get that going? Like the chat couldn't work.
Yes, yes.
Oh no, miss, no, done. Let me think. What else?
Have you played Fall Guys yet? Because I'm going to add Fall Guys to it this week.
Let's do it. No, I have not played Fall Guys. I haven't played. What's the other one? Among Us is the other one.
Oh, okay.
Could,
so you're going to add that one, are you?
Yeah, I'm going to add Among Us.
Yeah. All right.
I'm really interested to see. Like I've heard so much about it, seen so much YouTube. It was such a simple game.
Yep.
And I reckon, we could get a group of us together and stream that, and I reckon it'll be hilariously funny.
It would be. All right, I might share my screen if that's all right.
Let me just switch that on for you, sir. There you go. Fire away.
Yeah, that's the one.
Ta-da! Wow. So what have you put in? Fall Guys, and I've put in Among Us. Beautiful. Oh. You can't have the Among Us as blue, mate.
But there's a little line there.
Oh God!
I can't. I've got to add another one. What can I add? Need for Speed. Minecraft. We'll take out. Need for Speed Heat and put Minecraft
in. Yep.
All right. Let me just got to change my screen.
Oh, excuse me. Look at me showing you on my tonsils.
All right. Click to spin. Here we go. Oh, Fortnite again.
Fish is that? Why not? Yeah, I don't mind Fortnite.
I don't mind. So we'll probably play it for an hour and a half, and that was it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, did you want to play Splitgate? Because that's the next closest one. Or there is COD DMZ, where it's one of the guys was saying, I haven't played it yet, but
no, we haven't yet. No,
he reckons he's enjoying it, and interestingly enough, though, he said the bots have become really like full on, like it's like you're playing against players.
Yeah.
Like used to just they're not just bullet sponges. Like you've got to play against them properly. It's up to you, mate. I am happy to play whatever.
Oh, we'll go Fortnite.
Because it's really I have reinstalled Windows on this PC on another drive, so I'll hopefully get that all sorted by next week, and then we can have a nice experience.
Yes.
Not that we're not having right now.
Yeah. No, we'll stick to the wheel. We'll follow the wheel. Otherwise, if we start veering off the wheel, we'll keep doing it every week. So
sounds good to me. Yep. Let's not.
But yeah, I heard DMZ now they made the map smaller. Have you played the new Rebirth one? I played it the other night with Turtle.
No, you asked to play, and I was just like, I don't think I just wasn't in the headspace.
Yeah, that's the same as I was sort of not in, half out, and I was like, it's at 10 o'clock. I'm like, I'll get a couple of games in. So I chucked that.
Yeah, because it was really late. That's right. I remember it was really late. I was like, nah, man.
I was laying on the couch just watching the NRL. Like the trial matches were on, so I was watching a bit of that, and I was like, I'm not quite ready to go to bed yet.
Oh, cool. All right, so you want to try? Okay, well, off stream. Happy to maybe. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow night we might jump on and have a couple of games. I've got a mate of mine who's pretty keen.
Yeah. I'll get back to you. I think I got to. Yeah. Actually, no, I probably think I can. I don't have to go anymore. I just got to wait till Thursday. I thought we were doing like a rehearsal tomorrow night, but we're not doing it now. I think it's just the girls are doing it tomorrow afternoon, and then the boys are going to go through it in the morning on Thursday.
Sweet. Well, my friend, it is that time of the night.
It is that time again.
It is. Do we want to say adios to all our lovely listeners?
We do. So, if you missed the show, let me copy and paste this again.
Come and check us out on Spotify.
Yep. And make sure you follow us, because then you'll be able to see when the next this week's show comes up.
I'll put that in the live chat here. And let me go in here.
Make sure, you sign up to the footy comp for the tipping.
Yeah. There we go. There's the tipping in my channel too. One person listening, which will be me.
Oh, it's me. I'm watching too. I didn't realise my daughter's she's logged into her YouTube and she's logged into my YouTube, but she must have changed the name to. So when I wrote in your YouTube chat to come up as Ava Jane.
Right, okay. Where are we? Where was it? Oh, we had the Spotify. Where's the Spotify one? There it is. Spotify one.
But yeah, if anyone listens to us on Spotify, make sure you reach out to us and let us know. Be good to know.
Yeah, we'll be very, very, very excited. Hold on, I sent that to Portas. And to put that. All right. Let me. Flipping spuds. Here we go. There and
away we go.
And I've already done it in there. Where was it? No. This is the flipping spuds. No, come check us on Spotify now. Listen at your leisure. Yep. All right, dude. Well, I'm done for the night.
Me too. Thanks everyone for dropping by. We'll see you all next week when we play some Fortnite. And next Thursday it is. Make sure you don't come back on Tuesday because we won't be here.
No, come back on Thursday, and that's not this Thursday. That's
next Thursday.
Next Thursday, which is the
where we probably play 3 games of Fortnite to stick with the rules, but then we'll probably jump onto something else after that.
Most likely, yes.
We might even do a surprise stream over the next few days when we play some DMZ.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Take care. Peace out.
Peace out, everyone.